As someone who has used both genuine microswiss products and their various knockoffs, I can tell you that there is a definite reason, in some cases, to use genuine microswiss products. And the nozzles are, in fact, one of those cases. Now, on the left, I've got an M2 hardened steel nozzle from Mellow, a brand that makes really good knockoffs. And on the right, we've got an M2 hardened steel nozzle from microswiss. Now, on the surface, or at least plainly as you look at it, you probably won't notice very much difference. They're both made out of pretty much the same type of metal, but one is very much not like the other. So I had to change this nozzle out because I had a major clog with some wood filament. So you see this, that is not in fact a hamster turd, that is wood that got stuck in the hot end. So I figured I'd take this apart and show you some things. Now, M2 steel, it tends to rust a lot easier than A2 steel. Now that can be a problem. Usually it's not a big deal when it comes to 3D printers, but in this case you could in fact start to see a little bit of rust forming, and without some cleaning every now and then, rust will begin to develop over these cheap M2 hardened steel nozzles. But the microswiss should have no such problems. And that's because these are coated. Now, the coating that microswiss uses is WS2 and some special plating via electrolysis, I believe. And here's the thing, it's really good. So the coating it has is essentially a friction reducer, which is kind of important with these M2 hardened steel nozzles because they're not the most smooth nozzles due to the type of metal we're working with here. Getting precision machining on these things is not always the most easy thing to do, although microswiss does an immaculate job at that, and their coating definitely makes a difference. When it comes to plastic sticking on the metal, well, any nozzle is going to have this problem, but M2 steel, when it's just the regular old nozzle, it's not plated with anything, is particularly bad in that regard. So having this plating on it helps prevent that just a little bit. It'll still happen, but the point is these nozzles won't rust. Now, it is a $22 nozzle versus a $8 or $9 nozzle. So what do you really get? Well, this does have a limited lifetime warranty against wear. That's how much microswiss believes their machining and their coating and their metal is worth. Where these things, you just buy them as you need them. The problem is, with these nozzles, you're more likely to have like what we have and have serious carbon buildup due to a clog or caramelization, however you want to say it. It's going to clog up eventually with some sort of plastic. You're more likely to clog it out than you are to actually wear it out. So with that being said, choose for yourself what you want to use, but I personally think in a machine that's running 24/7, the microswiss nozzle is the better of the two, and it is worth the money. I've been running that on my machine for a while now. I got well over 1,000 hours of use on their A2 hardened steel nozzles. I fully expect the M2 steel nozzles to work even longer. And just microswiss really does set the bar for quality for Mark 8 products. When it comes to something like V6 or Chimera, that's not really where microswiss shines. But if you're running a workhorse that uses a Mark 8 nozzle, yeah, I do genuinely feel microswiss is worth the extra money.